So really it comes down to, why do we see Appian then being at the heart of our operational business? And there are three things which are really important to us. The first is cloud. Cloud makes it easy to deploy stuff to our field, but the real benefit for us from cloud is that we can integrate our third parties straight into our processes. We've implemented a leasing process, the sort of long-term lease process, where all the documents are, all the information is collected up, and we then effectively have all that documentation in Appian, and we then send a task to our solicitors, and the solicitors pick the task. They've got their own Appian account, they log in, they get their sort of tasks, do the work, and then eventually upload the completed long lease documents up. Essentially integrating the third parties into our actual processes. The second is mobile. And for us, mobile is not so much about it has to be mobile, but there has to be options. We allow our field teams to use what device they're comfortable with using in the situation that they want to use it. And certainly with Sail and with the Sail interface, we've seen some huge we've got some really sort of slick process forms and the like that go on. So this is an example of, in our contract management sort of side, where we've selected a category packaged ale, but then we can essentially pick whichever product it is within the packaged ale. So essentially sort of self-selecting list, which would in the past have been required Java, which would of course not worked on a mobile device very well. And then that same form, that's exactly the same form, essentially on a tablet, where we've got the selection now at the bottom, and on a phone. Same form, and the choice is there for our teams of how they use that. And then the third part of it is essentially records. And what's, for us, the real power of records is the ability, it's the glue. You remember the tiger fant that we saw earlier, the half elephant, half tiger? What the records is able to do, it knits together both the legacy for us and the new process work coming on. We can put information from our ERP, our legacy ERP, up through the record, and essentially at the same time we can put process information coming from our sort of process models and present it all in one place. It's absolutely, for us, our CRM tool now. And what we have now is Matt Calkins sort of spoiled these the other day, but we have effectively records for our pubs. Every one of our 4,200 pubs has its own record. The information on there is being sourced from several sources, coming from our ERP, it's coming from some of our SQL databases that we have in our sort of own other systems, coupled with process data. Essentially what we're able to do is we've got we're able to select what things we want to show, which is a great sort of great usefulness when we're using on mobile, because if you look at the mobile, effectively, if you see here, there's a selection, which you can essentially say which bits you want to see. The thing that we've been really impressed by is we did have concerns when we started out. We thought, how fast is this going to be? What we found, over a 3G network, we're getting some sort of impressive speeds on this. It's no problem at all in using it. And by the ability to sort of select what we want to see means that we can keep the speed really sort of fast. And then the same things essentially on a phone. And that is, our managing director is able to sort of, he likes it because he can see on the phone immediately if he's in a particular area, he can see which pubs we've got in the area and which ones he wants to go and visit. I'm not sure our regional directors are that keen on that, but everything has its downsides. But this really is for us, has been the sort of real transformational piece, because now we can launch all our processes from those records. So for us, essentially those three things together mean that we see very much Appian as being the centre of what we do going forward. So that's it from me. I won't keep you from the the sort of National Space Museum any longer. What I would say is if you want to talk to me about anything we've talked about, I'm around for the next day, and if anybody wants to sort of contact me by email or whatever, please feel free to do so. Thank you.
All right. I think we've reached the end of our session. I've got some special instructions for the evening tonight.